my first question is kind of a fun one just to get started.
Okay, sweet.
Um, if this new era of the band was a movie, what genre would it be, and what actors would you want to play you and the rest of the guys?
Oh, I'm bad with actor names, but I feel like
Okay.
we would definitely exist in some kind of spin-off to the Blade Runner cyberpunk era sequel kind of thing. I
Yeah.
almost want to say we would be an animated movie. I don't think we would be acted out by traditional actors. So I would say it would be like that Cyberpunk 77 anime, but our version of that. I think
Yeah.
that's what we would do. Yeah.
Okay. I like
Is
it.
that, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
answer.
What is something about you that's a non-musical fact that fans might not expect about you?
I grew up playing lots of platformer video games when I was younger, and now it is like my my two biggest loves are actually I would say between a jump between video game content for solo
Mhm.
player games or reading. And reading would be like in the horror genre or comic books, like anything in that degree. Like I'm all that stuff, all of the
Yeah.
dorky stuff, all the stuff that wasn't cool before.
Yeah.
I'm like super into.
What's your favorite game?
Ooh, I don't have a favorite one, but I'll say as a throwback,
Mm.
my favorite platformer of all time would have to be the Banjo Kazooie franchise, and I want a third one really bad.
Yeah.
That's my throwback answer. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna jump ahead on these because I was looking at your graphic design page.
Oh, sweet.
Those were amazing. Like you have great
Thank
art.
you.
Um, would you say that being a graphic designer has influenced the way you approach music?
Sort of. I think that it helps me have like a vision, like for um like what the overall vibe could be like for a
Yeah.
song. Like, because I guess whenever we're working on tracks and we're picking like, oh, what would be a cool texture for this? Like, and like Mikey's working on a song or whatever, and I'm in the room and we're like trying to figure like build this beat or idea out or this like background ambience behind like a breakdown or chorus or whatever it is. It's like I kind of imagine what the t-shirt design would look like for that or what the aesthetic for it is kind of
Mhm.
ahead of time so I can like because my brain kind of like sticks in a filing cabinet of like okay that style of that thing is now checked off. I want to move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing. So it's very we get very specific with the vision of things. So I think
Mhm.
that the art direction helps me a lot with articulating it too to the guys because I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I thought of this and this is what I'm thinking of to make sense of this. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. It's like way easier. It's like
Yeah.
hard to put into words sometimes.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking is you probably like as you're creating, you were probably already getting like a vision what
That's
you can do
usually
with it. Yeah.
yeah, we're very intentional whenever we're working on things.
Yeah. So you've mentioned that the re-release of the EP represents the band's character development arc.
Right.
So looking back on the original versus this release, what growth do you hear the most?
Um I feel like if you, in hindsight, if you listen to the first version of the EP, aside from, barring remixing it or from Jonathan DeLeese and doing all that stuff, the two songs that were added on from the original release were Someone Lonely and Bad Advice. And I feel like Someone Lonely was like this kind of idea of like the most digestible version of what the entire EP was,
Mhm.
because we like to do what I always lean into calling like diet weird, which is like having weird elements in the song, but it doesn't all the way remove you from it. It's just like a
Yeah.
little weird. It's not so jarring that you're like, oh, I need to change this. I'm
Yeah.
not cringing too hard,
Yeah.
but so it's like I feel like that song is like the more like marketable version of that, and then I feel like Bad Advice is like the mashup of all of the hyper pop or elements of like the breakdowns to like how we have our choruses and like the post chorus and all that. Like I feel like that's a good mashup of what the entire EP was. So in
Mhm.
hindsight, I feel like the new version has these like you get like the left and the right side of this track of like what this sound direction is kind of could lean into going into.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like those are the leveled up versions of what those things could be.
Yeah. So how has it been like with Thriller so far?
It has been pretty sweet. It is really cool
They're
having.
amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's been really cool having a team to talk to and sometimes bounce ideas off of,
Mhm.
and you know, we're always open to guidance. We did a lot on our own. We prided ourselves on being very DIY,
Mhm.
so it was interesting to bring in more of an outside hand. But we love it. It's great. It's awesome having the team that we have. They're very excited about this stuff, as
Yeah.
excited as we are about it, which is also really sweet and feels obviously more validating that way.
Yeah, definitely. Um, is there anything in particular that you want to stick to having DIY?
um, Not particularly. I think that as the band, in a perfect world, as the band becomes more successful or popular, whatever happens over time, as we become more busy,
Yeah.
um, I think it's going to start to pull from like uh, abilities to do other things
Yeah.
necessarily. If your hands are always tied up, like
Mhm.
Brendan is a content guy in our band. He's always out with, if not for me, shout out those guys,
Mhm.
and but we really like him, like just playing bass and hanging out with us. You know, like whenever we're touring together, it's like we don't always want to be in the work mode 24/7. So I don't think there's anything there's definitely things we'll be picky about or be very like, we do this trade, so like it needs to be up to this standard. But I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything that we'd hold on to like forever indefinitely with a death grip. I think that can be self-sabotaging sometimes if you're not coachable, you know?
Yeah. Um, and then so for the release in general, how do you hope people feel after they listen to it? Like, is there any takeaways you want them to have?
Yeah, I want people to not be able to expect what the next single is going to sound like, as far as leading heavy or non-heavy or genre-wise, or like what the weird switch up in the song is. I kind of like this concept of like when I used to listen to other songs, I hated always like being like, oh, my favorite part of the song is just the breakdown, so I skip forward to that part. So I like the songs that have sprinkles of ideas or
Yeah.
weirdness or something really heavy. Whenever we decide to go heavy, we try to focus in on the delivery, and I just want people to not know what to expect as far
Yeah.
as the next thing. It's my favorite thing, just to
You're light.
just to drop it on them.
And then speaking of like terms, um, let's go back to the term thick that was
Yeah.
mentioned. So what changes would you say were made to the re-release that kind of give it that extra level
Extra
up?
oomph.
Yeah.
From I guess like from a technical aspect, when we had Jonathan DeLeese get involved in the mix, he kind of made it sound sonically bigger. I think the guitars are a little more forward, so it has more of a punch to it,
Yeah.
and more impacts. There are also a few changes that we did to some of the songs. If I would shout one out, is there are some more harmonies that have been added to like the chorus um, on Counterfeit's chorus. And if you
Mhm.
listen to Control in the very ending outro, it actually switches into, I think it's halftime on the drums from like the breakdown, or from the outro, which in the original version it didn't do that. So it was like we kind of like did more. We've added a little more personality to some of the songs, and there's like a background pad thing going on in the chorus for Control. That was something that was added in.
Yeah.
There's some textures added into Doom and Gloom as well, actually, from the original one, which
Mhm.
was pretty cool. So just things like that.
Yeah.
So when I say thick, it comes
Yeah.
from it's because of the funny inside joke, but the choruses and the songs are objectively, they do sound bigger and wider. So
Yeah.
that was the silliness behind that
Yeah.
that
You
word.
guys do have a whole like cinematic kind of sound going on.
Yeah, that definitely happened over time because I knew we had like the idea of like Brendan and I talk a lot about like the aesthetic for the band, or like what we like, what we're into, you know, like we don't ever want to like try to fit this or try to be that way. But like what is the vision for this? Like he's very much involved with that creative front. And uh, it's I I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Yeah. Hold on, rewind. So Brendan, yeah. So Brendan's involved with a lot of like the visionary stuff with me. So like we usually end up sitting down and think of like what would the SFT world be in like if it was like its own like universe, animated universe, or like in like that kind of like video gamey realm, or almost like Toonami mixed feel from like 2000, or like like for like the 2000s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We like to kind of mix the retro stuff in. So it is also partially thanks to him, or it is a lot thanks to him as well that we landed on these things kind of coming out looking more cinematic, because he
Yeah.
has all the video knowledge. When I'm like, hey, I'm like, I sound like a caveman probably when I'm trying to describe to him how I think some of the angles for some of our videos and stuff need to be. And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, it's on this. And I'm like, I think so.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
like you're in good hands.
we are for sure.
Um, so you're based out of Virginia. What
Yes.
would you say the scene there is like? Has that influenced your sound?
I actually would say it doesn't, because we're all widespread. So
Mhm.
Mikey and James, the two guitarists, primary songwriter Mikey, and then James comes up with a lot of like we call them seed ideas for like the startup to songs.
Mhm.
They're in Richmond. I'm about an hour north in Fredericksburg, so that's like Old Town kind of. They don't really have as much of like a scene for like live music where I live as much
Mhm.
like as far as like that genre of music goes. It's more like folk stuff and things like that, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. Yeah.
They do have some like underground shows that are pretty hard, but pretty cool. But like it's just not like they don't have like a Canal Club over there, which is like the main venue
Yeah.
in Richmond. And then not yet anyway. And then further up north we have Brendan, who actually lives in Baltimore, Maryland. So he's
Okay.
separated, and then Sean's all the way in PA. So we're all spread apart. I wouldn't say that the local scene, probably prior to me joining, because by the time that I was involved with the band, we were kind of doing like our DIY tours and then coming back to home base every once in a while. I was kind of already doing my own idea and sound of things by that time without being involved in that scene for the band.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I know a little bit. Like I've been to Virginia a few times for shows. Doing photography. There's a band I used to work with out of there, and so like I've seen a little bit of the scene, but not a lot.
Yeah, there are some cool
Curious.
spots to play in Virginia. That's some cool events and some cool
Yeah.
locals for sure that are on the up. It's just I just don't have, I don't live in Richmond, so I'm not at the shows as frequently. Mikey's the one who's super involved with the local scene because he
Yeah.
records people for a living, so he records a lot of the local bands in the area as well. So he'll come out to shows, and I'll tag along with him
Yeah.
whenever I'm around, but it just
Yeah.
kind of depends.
So you have a reputation for building a culture around the music rather than just like releasing songs. And what would you say like your shows are like your live shows? How would you explain that to someone?
um, I like when you go to a show and you don't stand. I want our shows to feel like everyone's kind of can break the ice with each other. Like it is this big party for everyone. But I don't mean party like necessarily like to the degree of like a band like Attila where it's just like on your worst rowdy behavior. I mean party in the sense of like there's a commodity amongst everybody in the crowd, and it's like no one's too cool standing in the corner, um, kind of being a tough guy posted up just doing this. You
Yeah.
know, my idea is like for people to have fun and to like laugh and not take themselves too seriously. It's like we're like the whole idea is like to come exist in this realm with us and enjoy the music with us. Let's just forget about all the other BS that you're gonna have to deal with when you walk out those doors. You spent your money to come out here. Let's have a great time. Let's make the most out of it, because that's what you're here to do. You know, let's go forget about the bad, all the other BS. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's the
Why else are
main
you there? You know?
right. And we don't want any like, just clean fun,
Mhm.
healthy fun.
Yeah.
Healthy fun. Let's say it that way. Yeah. But yeah, I love the party vibe. I don't always necessarily pits are fun. All that stuff. Like I'm all for it. Just just we try to avoid having I guess we just don't want like a super non-welcoming crowd to like out to new people.
Mhm.
Like if this is your first show, come on through. Don't feel like you need to prove yourself to anybody and dress however the hell you want. You don't have to wear all black and show up to not feel out of place. Just come to the show.
Yeah. So you shared stages with some big bands. You've shared stages with Crown the Empire. You've hit massive festivals like Incarceration. Is there anything that you've taken from playing larger performances and then even just playing alongside these artists? Is there any lessons you've kind of picked up?
Um, I think I've learned, I think personally, maybe as a band, we've learned that like persistence and tenacity feels like to be the key to things. I feel like if you just Brendan always makes a story. He's like, we literally tried every single thing with this band. We do at this point, like I don't even know what else to do if we're not gonna land anything. But like uh the Kid Me would be so stoked. I remember like on like plat like being obsessed with like Crown the Empire at the time and like being able to go play Incarceration and like going to like tours like Warped Tour or whatever it was like. But it's like those things took so long to kind of happen, and it doesn't feel any less validating when they finally happen. That
Yeah.
it the lesson is like opportunity comes whenever you keep at it. The opportunity is going to show up in weird ways.
Yeah.
Um, it's not going to be here's the gateway to go play that. It's going to be what is the micro step that you can take that puts you in front of more of those opportunities and the likelihood of those things to happen. And eventually, I do believe that you will get that bone thrown your way. You just need to be aware of it. Like in mine, I went to a live emo band karaoke and covered Under Oath, and that's how I met Mikey. And then 1 year later, I filled in for the band, and then I stuck around. Like it was like if I stayed home that day and
Mhm.
didn't decide to just go meet people at a show at an emo live band karaoke, then
Yeah.
I probably would not have met the guy. You know what I mean? So it's like
Crazy.
it's those kinds of things. It's like you got to put yourself out there, and you just got to just be confident. Yeah, that's the big lesson. I think tenacity is key.
Yeah. So the press release that I was sent mentions you have an unshakable work ethic, being knocked down and then standing back up. Is there, what was the lowest point of the band so far, would you say? And did that help inspire the songs in any way? Like, have you ever felt like that as a band that you're being knocked down and you need to stand back up?
Um, I think that there was a time where we didn't know what sound direction we wanted to go in. Initiation was a lot of us kind of testing out the waters on how heavy we wanted to go and how non-heavy, I guess more rock forward we wanted to go with songs like Absolve.
Mhm.
But um at that time there was some doubt around like what the band was going to shape into. And I think that really fueled us to like try to not settle on. I think the idea changed from being like, let's just put out songs to being like, let's try to write like the best songs we can objectively write and like take our time with these things and really uh really zone in on the craft of like what the vision is. And I don't think that we would have pushed that hard to prove a point if our backs didn't feel like they were kind of against the wall there for a little bit. It's kind of we
Mhm.
kind of pride ourselves on the underdog feeling. I think it's sweet. I think that stuff's like badass. You just like people don't expect it and then you come out swinging. The
Yeah.
hold my beer moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is something that fans might not know about this album that you would want them to maybe understand from your perspective?
On the EP, on the ARCs EP.
Yeah.
I would say I hmm, I would say that give it give it a listen front to back, and I don't think you're going to expect the gravity of like or the band to go as ridiculous or confusing or like some kind of uh it's it's like I want people to explore this diet weird idea and for them to understand what this diet weird thing is, and it's hard to put into words without just kind of
Yeah.
perceiving it. But I want people to just kind of go into this and just like expect the unexpected as far as where the ideas come from. as far as like we're like what vibe you're getting. Like we have a song called Impulse, and it starts off like a club song, and then it ends up being like the heaviest song I think we've ever written by the end of the way that song ends. So
Mm.
it's you get things like that, or like breakbeat, or yeah, there's just all kinds of weird stuff. There's like an emo-y bridge breakdown thing in this song called Do You that starts off more like an Issues-y track, like if you like that kind of like R&B vibe. And then if you want something that's more, if you want to be in a Tokyo Samurai battle fight, go listen to Bad Advice breakdown.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm saying I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Like there's songs on there that if you don't enjoy that kind of music, you'll I think you'll still find stuff that you will enjoy from it.
Yeah. Yeah, you've actually got some very like varsity sounding songs in a way,
Oh yeah.
which is like a huge compliment, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably grew up on similar stuff from Joey for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a great vocalist. I'm
Thank
sure
you
you
so
know
much.
this, but like, yeah,
Thank
to
you.
be compared to him, it's not something you should take lightly.
I appreciate it.
And then what can we look forward to next from set for tomorrow?
We have some next year's looking pretty busy. We have some we right now I can't really announce anything, but we have some really huge announcements to make, some of the coolest stuff we've ever done.
Okay.
We're so excited for next year. It's just like it's kind of like it's like that meme where the guy's just like staring off into space and all his neck veins are popping out and you can't say anything.
Yeah.
That's like kind of how we're gonna have to feel throughout the holidays. But
Yeah.
we're always working on new music, so you never know whenever the next one's gonna come out. But like we just always work on new music as far as staying busy. So planning a lot for next year. Hopefully we can get around to seeing everybody at some point everywhere.
Yeah. So big stuff's coming. We just don't know what.
Yeah, just
Well,
a
good.
little too early to talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about it next year.
Hopefully some shows.
Definitely. Most definitely
That
some
sounds good.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to North Carolina. That's where I am.
You got to come back there again.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's about all I've got for you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with any of your fans that might see this?
I would say that if you haven't checked us out, hello, come check us out. And if you want to be part of a welcoming community, we also have a Patreon and a free tier Discord, and everybody in there super friendly. We don't tolerate any BS-ery and trolling and annoying stuff like that. So if you want to go make some cool friends and meet some really nice people, come check out the Discord or our Patreon, because we do all sorts of announcements through there, and you can keep up even closer with us. But otherwise, we post all our stuff to our socials as well.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right.